Okay, let's have a class, and our second to last class, we will talk about the immunology. This two slides, which is talk about the host microbial interactions. We just go over these two slides. They say the body has been harbors 10 times as many bacteria as a human cells. So you're learning these days, the bacterial community in our body, they think it is a center of our body. It's have a very strong immune defense system. Not only for that, it is basically everything. They think it is as important as the brain, as our heart. And we have to keep the dynamic balance between the host defense and the microbial virulence. So what are the host resistant? That including the surface defense, phagocytosis, relate to phagosome and the lysozyme and immunity. So this is we're going to talk about today, about the immune. Microbial virulence, so how they establish infection and colonization. And there is a little bit different between that. In the next slides we'll talk about that. And their capability to resist host defenses, invasiveness and ability to damage the host. So this is an overview of a microorganism going to the body. First of all, they're going to be colonization, which means they stay there. And that could be eliminated immediately with host defense, so we call it a transition period of time. If they are not eliminated, then we'll go into the next stage, is infection. Now the infection does not mean they will cause disease. It could become a normal bacteria. And obviously, it could cause infectious disease if they passing the test of the host resistance system. And now with the infection, sometimes they cause the infection, but they do not have a disease symptoms. We call it asymptomatic. And then they could be eliminated, or they could be shaded by the body, which means they be there for a very long time. So this is an overview, tells you if the human being or an animal body exposed to the microorganism, what will happen. But majority of the time, what will happen is the center line is colonization, infection, and they cause infectious disease. That is what we talk about this class so far, especially the material at the exam 2 with all those infectious microorganisms. So today we're going to focus talk about the immune, all these things. We just go through these things real quick. I'll be using a blackboard to explain. So when we talk about this immune, this is coming from a Latin words which is called immunis. So what this means, which means you recognize the foreigner and then you destroy it or you remove it. In other words, the original they means it's free of burden. And we know that this is like recognize a foreigner. And then you destroy it. So there is two sides of that. The good thing regarding microorganisms, especially pathogenic bacteria, when they go into the body, it's a burden, and we recognize it, our immune system is activated, we destroy it. This is what we're going to focus on. But they also have another thing, which is a bad side, especially from the medical standpoint. If you have an organ transplant patient, and you have a new organ transplanted in your body, that is from another person, then your body will recognize as a foreigner, then you will destroy it. That's not a good thing. That is why every organ transplant patient in the first couple of period of time, they have a very hard time to survive because your body recognizes them as a foreigner and they try to remove it. Well, okay, but that's not the thing we're going to talk about here. We basically going to talk about how we human being or animal cell, animal body to combat the microorganism. So that's what the immune talk about. Now, when we talk about the immune, there is something, a very big picture we talk about is non-specific. So what are these examples? Let's say the first one is your skin. Your skin surface, we mentioned about, there are salt. So if you run 3 miles or 6 miles, I run that all the time, 6 miles, and I can run half marathon. And then what happened is, which is wetted, you're sweating, and you see there is a salt particles which is soaked up, and that is salt. And salt can kill bacteria. We know that. We call it halophiles. Is that right? We have non-halophiles. Let's say Staphylococcus aureus. We mentioned the epidermis. Those are halophiles. And another thing is that the skin surface, you have the oil, which coming from fatty acids. You more or less have some the oil comes out. That's why you need to take a shower. The oil going to build up, but it's a defense system because bacteria cannot survive there. You can say it's a sliding for them, and they cannot go into the body, cannot penetrate. And sometimes, carotene we have other